Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So, here in Baltimore, 6 police officers have been indicted on federal racketeering charges. These police officers are accused of stopping people and robbing them. For instance, they would stop somebody and they noticed that they had some money or something like that, and they would just take it, just like typical street thugs. That's exactly how these officers were behaving. They are accused of falsifying court documents. They are accused of falsifying overtime. So they're charging the city for overtime that they didn't actually serve. So you basically had these cops just doing whatever. They are completely lawless. And one of these officers has been indicted in a separate case involving him working with drug organizations. So these are the types of police officers you have in Baltimore. Some police officers fit this bill, and I'm glad that the mayor is calling for an audit of the police department to determine whether or not there are other similar problems among other police. But I would not be surprised if this is not something that's isolated. I would not be surprised if there were more officers who regularly engage in this kind of conduct. And when you have situations like this, it erodes public trust. I mean, how is the public going to trust police officers who engage in this kind of behavior? How are they going to trust the police department? And people often say, well, why are people not talking to the police? Why aren't they cooperating with the police? Well, when you have rogue police officers out here doing stuff like these people, the people have no reason to trust the police. They have no reason to cooperate with the police. And I understand that. Also, one thing that is very disturbing about this situation is the fact that some of these officers falsify court documents. So they submitted false information to courts that may have resulted in people getting falsely convicted of various crimes. And now the state's attorney's office is in the process of reviewing cases. And from what I understand, they may have dismissed a few cases because of this whole scandal. And this is crazy. And the sad thing about it is most of these officers are black. If I'm not mistaken, at least 4 of them are black. And it's just a prime example of black people betraying their own community. So you have these black officers harassing their own community, stealing from their own community, you know, making a complete disgrace of other police officers and of the black community. And it's just a damn shame. So I hope that there's some real reforms put into place to make sure that nothing like this ever happens again. And I hope that these officers, if the evidence is presented, I hope that these officers are convicted and punished to the full extent of the law.